Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms Tech Podcast. I am your host, and my name is Wes, and I am here with Landen.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Howdy.
And we are here to talk tech. We are here to be a better host and talk correctly. Anyway, we are here to talk all things tech this week. Hopefully. But good thing I'm not talking. I don't have very many things to talk about because, wow.
Just tech. We're not going to be talking about blit.
Because
I've got lots to say about blit.
Lay off me. It's been a long day. Anyway.
By the time I'm done talking, it'll probably sound like bleh.
If you hear snoring, that might be me. Anyway, so we're back, and we're here to talk things tech. And I think we're going to go ahead and start off with some Microsoft news because I hear we might have a lot of Google news.
Yeah.
Well, there's some Google, some Android, and mostly just lots of general tech crap.
Yeah.
Past week was the IFA conference in Berlin, which is mostly centered around mobile technology, but there's been a lot more just tech crap in general.
Which is good.
Yes.
Lots of cool stuff that's coming out.
Yes, lots of cool stuff.
So one thing that we did want to mention on there, which a lot of people have probably seen, that now that Cortana and Amazon Echo are kind of forming a bond, sort of.
Something like that.
Well, and as we read there, they announced it, and they've come up with a couple different details of how it would work. Kind of the basis of it is Amazon wants to get more onto the business side, more security, which Microsoft has, obviously, for like Microsoft Office and the cloud. And Microsoft just wants to put its name out there with Cortana. So what better way, let's go ahead and join those two together, is what they're doing. So
there's probably Cortana and Alexa fan fiction that you can go read right now as a result of this.
I was trying not to bring that up. I really wasn't. But leave it to Caleb.
Alexa's going to be a new character in Halo.
Oh, my gosh. You know that's going to happen. They're coming out.
Cortana's going to be asking questions.
Yeah. Who's that? Oh, geez. There's going to be a lot of devices being set off, too. Man, that's horrible. Anyway,
that's true. If you listen to this not using headphones, you may want to switch.
Yeah. At least that's kind of weird because if you've got Microsoft, I guess the only one is you got to not have Siri or Google. Or you have to have Siri or Google, which is a lot. So the only time you got to not have this is like when you got a Dot, I guess, an Amazon Dot around.
Or an Echo.
Well, same. They're devices. But
yeah.
Anyway. So just kind of pulling this up from Thurrott.com, actually. I wanted to read a little more onto it, what the actual details were. So this is coming from him, and this says that Microsoft Post notes that this collaboration will allow you to access Alexa via Cortana on Windows 10 PCs later this year, followed by Android and iOS in the future. It also notes that you will be able to access Cortana on Alexa-enabled devices like the Amazon Echo, Echo Dot, and the Echo Show, but doesn't explain the timeline for that. Cortana users will be able to have Alexa shop in Amazon or have Alexa shop on Amazon.com and manage their Amazon pre-orders, orders, and access many of Alexa's third-party skills by asking Cortana to open Alexa. Just as Alexa users will have access to Cortana's world knowledge and helpful productivity features such as calendar management, day at a glance, and location-based reminders simply by asking Alexa to open Cortana. All that in a nutshell.
Yes.
So that's kind of what they're talking about so far.
My question is, if I have the Cortana app on my phone, could I use that to access Alexa eventually?
If it's an Alexa-enabled device. If you can get Alexa on there, like they just talk together is kind of what it sounds like.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I know I can get Alexa on my phone via the Amazon app. Like
Gotcha.
I can search the Amazon app with Alexa. So I don't know. It's not like a fully featured Alexa.
Gotcha.
I know there's ways to do it, but I don't know.
I think it's actually more for PC users. You could probably use it on your phones and stuff if you wanted, but I think it's more for the PC.
That makes sense.
Because Microsoft is pushing it for Windows, for Cortana, so it's like, how can we add more skills, obviously? Well, let's get the shopping on there. I think that's kind of what it's made for this. So it's not really for phones, it's just more for the PC. So what it kind of seems to me.
Gotcha.
But that's happening. How awesome. Anyway, so a little bit more. Let's talk about a feature we actually talked a lot earlier than this. A lot earlier for this feature that's coming. It's called the Story Remix. That's the Story Remix is the thing where they show the picture of the kid kicking the soccer, and you can edit it to be a fireball.
Oh, yeah.
And then you remix it.
One of the actual cool features
Yeah.
of the creators update
that they said there was coming, but it's not. Yeah,
Didn't come out. Yeah.
Anyway,
like
so
most of the cool features.
So what they're saying is here soon that the skip ahead for Windows Insiders 10 or Windows 10 Insiders, basically the skip ahead feature, to reissue what that is the insider program to where you're in the faster ring. So it's basically you're using unstable Windows to use this, but you can find this feature there now. So which means it's coming. So that's kind of cool.
So that'll probably be in the Fall Creators Update.
Possible. I doubt it, but it's right now being introduced into the Insider program. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's probably going to spend quite a few more months in the Insider program before it makes it into an actual
So
release.
that'll be in the Spring Creators Update?
Spring Creators Update Part 2.
Part 2. I wonder if they're going to do that. Spring Creators. It's all just going to be that. That would be weird. But I guess they
That
could
would be
do
Microsoft.
It could be Spring Creator Update 360. And then Spring Creator Update 1. And then Spring Creator 1X. 1S. Yeah,
then
right.
1X. Project Scorpio version.
Well, which is so cool. Sorry. I think that's so cool they did that. I really do. But anyway, so that is available. But just I wanted to say that if you want to try that feature out, it is on there. It says, because I believe the Fall Creators Update is coming soon, it says, as we now know, the feature is not expected to be released on October 17th, which is about what the Creators Update they said it was going to be about. But it should be coming soon on those builds. So it's coming. But if you want to try this, you can. And if you are in the Insider program and want to try this feature, just remember if you were to install the very top of the line update that they have for this that you can get is very unstable, or it could be very unstable. So don't use it on your primary PC.
Yeah.
If you have just
Not recommended.
Yeah. So just if you want to try it, there it is. So I thought that was pretty cool because that's something I definitely want to tinker with. That seems kind of fun to
That
mess
does look
with,
cool.
So. Let's see. Also, to the Fall Creators Update, there's a couple feature focus on the gaming for Windows 10. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about that. Basically, it's like the game bar improvements, which Caleb and I have had extensive use on trying to stream with that. And it's been an interesting thing to kind of figure out.
There are some weirdness.
So a couple things on here that it shows. It says the game mode can be actually toggled on and off on the game bar now.
Oh.
So that'll be nice. So you can just bring up the game bar and yes, no, instead of going to your settings to gaming to game bar, then turning it on and off.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why you turn it off. Unless, I guess, you have a fast PC.
I was going to say, if you have actually pretty high-end hardware, then evidently the game bar can actually cause problems. Or the game mode can cause problems.
So, and then also that you can do HDR screenshots from the game bar now. So instead of Alt F, or not Alt F4, but the screenshot key.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of nice because, I mean, if you're playing a Steam game or a GOG game or something like that, they have the Steam overlay that allows you to take screenshots of whatever with a hotkey, saves it off to a special place. And integrating that into the game bar means that I can do the same thing with like my Windows Store games. It's, so.
Quick question. Do you do multi-monitor?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
I don't.
Okay. The reason why I was asking, something I had found out with, I think it was my brother. He was messing, so he's got a gaming laptop, which he hooks into a widescreen high-definition monitor, which plugs in, works fine. And he uses that for his kind of gaming and whatever, and he takes the laptop. Anyway, we had found out that when you start streaming and you've got the game, what you're streaming, the game bar that shows your actual picture, what you're streaming, he couldn't bring it over to the other screen.
Yeah. That kind of doesn't surprise me.
For some reason, and it didn't have an option. We looked everywhere for an option to be like, put this over here.
Yeah, it's tied into that game, like that program.
Yeah,
and it really cannot exist outside of that. And it's kind of a weird thing. Basically, like if you were to you know what? Actually, no, browsers handle that better than that nowadays. I don't know. But yeah, it's tied in and it's kind of like locked into whatever the game you're looking at is.
Yeah.
So if you like want to have your chat open or something like that on the second monitor, you have to do it with a web browser, basically.
Yeah.
Pull it open to your channel in Mixer, and that's how you do it.
Gotcha. I was
So,
wondering about
It's
that.
kind
if
of a
you did.
weird thing, and I expect that to change at some point in the future. I mean,
Yeah, it
there's
should.
a lot of refinement features that I think that you see with a lot of the existing game streaming software that don't exist with the Windows solution right now, that I'm sure they're coming.
I'm sure they are. They've been
It'll
really
just
updating
be a little
this,
while.
but
Yeah.
that was one thing I wondered if you did the multi-monitoring or not, just monitoring. So,
Now, I haven't ever done it, but I have looked into it quite extensively.
gotcha.
So,
And then also game setting improvements. So that's in your actual game settings that we were talking about. Go to settings on the Windows 10 PC. And you can actually now, I'm going to read this from here. It says, the game setting has likewise been updated in the Fall Creators Update under broadcasting and new option for broadcasting game audio only.
Oh,
Which is enabled by default, just so
Right.
you know. And
Yes.
so that your sound or your system sounds are not streamed as you broadcast.
that's awesome. That's something I want in. Like when I've tried to record gameplay on my phone via the Google Play Games app,
Yeah.
it doesn't give you that option. I mean, it has a thing there to mute audio. I don't know what it does. Because I click that and then I go and listen back. I can still hear everything in the room, like from the outside microphone on the phone, and all my screen taps,
Oh, really?
which is really obnoxious. Which is what you don't want.
I wonder if that's
streaming.
like more messages. Like if you get a bing.
Maybe that might be what it is, but either way, it's still annoying.
Well, it's still improving,
Yeah.
but I saw that was pretty cool. Also on there, you can specify your broadcast language. So you're like, this is English, just so you know, so people that are speak Spanish come. Apparently that's a problem. Also, game monitoring and a anti-cheating platform has been renamed to TruePlay, but still is disabled by default. And finally, a new Xbox networking page is on game settings, so you can help you find and resolve networking and other issues that might get in the way of your online gaming.
oh,
Which I thought was pretty cool.
yeah.
So it's got a screenshot here. I'll look and it'll show you your connection status, your Xbox Live status, and then if there's certain features or apps or something, say like Netflix is down on there, it'll actually say Netflix has a problem or something like that. So I thought that was cool. Also, Xbox Live multiplayer. It'll give you certain games and tell you, hey, this is down or this is what we're working on, which is really cool. It does it on the Xbox, and so this is kind of cool. So you can see if for some reason you can't connect or whatnot, you got that option. And also the GPU monitoring in Task Manager is another big thing that is coming, so which is cool. So you don't have to have the third parties do that. You just right there, built right in, which seems really cool. And looking at this screenshot here, it does show that it is multi-GPUs that you can look at. So you can actually show which GPUs are being used and everything. So and which is cool because I actually have two.
Right.
I have a Sliam, so it's and I'm such a weird guy. I love the visuals of like, oh, that one's working more, and this one isn't. And then if I go into this game and change this setting and move the physics to this one, that's good. Like I'm such a dork that way. So totally.
Well, we weren't going to say anything.
Well, I'll say it. I'll admit it. So kind of fun stuff for that as well. And then one last thing I did want to mention, which we were kind of quick testing earlier, was actually create Mixer for Android and iOS exits the beta.
and actually exists for iOS now.
Yeah, actually exists.
Well, mine still says beta on the Create app.
Does it?
Yeah, mine still shows beta unless there's an update that I don't know about, and there's not. So
may still show. Probably still updating, but
it is more functional now, as we figured out.
So it is kind of cool. I'll mention a couple things here. It says, excuse me, you can stay connected with your community on the go, the mobile gameplay streaming, vlogging, chat companion, participation in co-streams, and the ability to manage your Mixer settings, all right from your mobile device, which is really cool because that way you don't have to log to the PC to change something or look at something. It's getting more and more accessible. I know there was a couple things we were messing with on the Android part where we were trying to see who's following you, but for some reason it'll tell you how many, but not who.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see who is on there, or even who's streaming, like, or who's on watching my stream.
Yeah,
No,
I
we
couldn't see that. It says how many people are viewing it, but I couldn't tell who.
Let's see.
Although no, it didn't even pop up when someone started. It would just give another number, I guess.
Oh.
If they were starting the stream.
And then on here, so a couple things it says Mixer Create lets you broadcast gameplay from your favorite games right from your device with no extra software or hardware required. On Android, it works with any game. On iOS, it works with what Microsoft calls a selection of top games.
Ah.
What this means, it works with games that have enabled replay kit functionality.
Ah. Okay. So it does sound like it has to be games that are tied into the whole, like,
replay kit.
Apple API thing, which is supposed to be expanding with iOS 11. So I wonder if that's going to be changing at some point in the near future, because iOS 11 is like a week and a half away. So,
yeah. And then also co-streaming. It says Mixer Create also lets up to 4 gamers combine their streams into a single viewer experience. For now, you have to invite other gamers to join your co-stream from other Mixer interfaces, but you can well, that was spelt wrong. Sorry, but you can able to accept. That's so awesome. Co-stream invites from within the app, but co-stream invitation support is coming soon. Is what it says.
So that's actually really nice, because my experience with doing co-streaming from the desktop is that I have to open up a web browser in order to accept those invitations.
Yep.
Which now hopefully I can do for my phone, and then just start broadcasting, and everything will just work.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
Yeah. And right now the Xbox is kind of the easiest way to do that, because it's just, I want to invite that person to co-stream, and it's in like 2-3 buttons.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you have to do that from the web if you're on a computer.
Yep. So that's kind of cool, because it brings it up. You're like, accept, and then it goes. So that's really cool. And then it says to interact with viewers, as with Mixer on Xbox One and PC, you can interact with your viewers while you play using chat and moderation tools. There's also a Mixer companion feature that lets you chat with fans from your phone while you play and stream a game from your console or PC. So that's kind of what we were talking about. And then also to manage your Mixer profile, Mixer Create also lets you edit your profile and manage your settings directly from the app, so you won't need to use your PC. So, just as we were saying, it's a great way to have that extra companion to get things going to start, so that, like, you don't have to open another browser. You could technically just hit stream and then accept, so you don't have to Alt-tab out of your game or window mode your game and then move over, and it just, go, boom. So, just easy... making life easier, so
Yep.
Which is great, because I mean, the better you can do that, the more competition, make it easier. The more competition for Twitch to be better. So
Yep.
Which I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping they push this for as much, just to make the other side better. So like I said, competition helps. So
Yep.
And that's kind of what's going on really in the Microsoft world. I know they had a couple other things that they were talking about for enterprise stuff, but nothing really that people that listen to this podcast really probably care about. So
if you do care about the enterprise side of Microsoft,
by all means, I'll talk about it.
We don't.
Yeah.
No.
But you might.
No.
Just let us know.
It's funny. That's the part of the Windows Weekly podcast I usually skip over.
Is
like,
it?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mary Jo, but I don't care.
Well, there's some cool things on it, but it's just like, okay, when are we going to talk about Xbox? It is cool. But if you would like us to, we will. But probably not right now. But anyway, so that's really kind of it. Just waiting for, obviously, the October 17th. This next couple months, if you're a gamer, there's so many games coming out. The console's coming out. The new... Windows the Fall Creators Update is coming out with all these magnificent, features that supposedly are supposed to be coming, but but cool stuff. But let's go ahead and move on to some Apple news. We'll get that over, and
it's extensive, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So, this week we got media invitations sent out for Apple's iPhone event. It's on September 12th. the tagline for it is "Let's meet at our place."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're paying attention, that means that yes, it is going to be at the Steve Jobs Theater on Apple's new campus. And
I'm excited for that.
That looks
pretty much
pretty
it.
cool,
No,
though.
I'm really excited
I
to
want
see
to
the
see
theater.
the inside.
Like, I want to see the inside of this theater, and they'll probably have like a touching tribute to Steve Jobs and yada 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 to start the event off or something like
Yeah.
that, because it's the first event in the theater that's named after the guy, and it's the 10th iPhone, and so on and so forth. So, I'm sure it's gonna be a cool event, and I can't wait until the 12th. And that is
Bet
all.
you can't.
That is all of the Apple news.
So, what can we really anticipate? What's gonna be there? Or is
It's-
it really pretty much closed? No one knows.
Well, it's basically all the rumors that we've been talking about, and nothing really changed this past week. So we're expecting 3 iPhones. We're expecting a 7S, a 7S Plus, and then an iPhone 8 Pro, whatever thing with the big screen and the notch at the top of the screen and wireless charging and OLED panels and yada yada yada. So those phones, we're expecting possibly a 4K Apple TV and a new Apple Watch Series 3, more than likely. And there's small chance of them talking about like more with their desktop space. We might get an update on the iMac Pro that they mentioned back in June about get release date for it, basically, is all we would be expecting to see there. We might get a release date for the HomePod speaker.
I would imagine potentially more details about the HomePod
Yes,
as
possibly
well.
more details on the HomePod as well.
Probably partnering. Well, no, it's going to be Apple Music.
Yeah.
They're not going to partner with anybody.
Yeah, at
least
least
not at
not
launch.
at release. Yeah, so that's kind of we're expecting them to talk about that stuff, and that's really like as far as new things, we're really just expecting the phones, maybe an updated Apple TV, and an updated Apple Watch. In the back of my head, I'm hoping that they're going to drop a bombshell and release like an updated Mac Mini or something like that. That would be fantastic. And considering the amount of stuff that they crammed into the WWDC keynote, they might cram all of that stuff into this one as well.
Gotcha.
We'll see. But so far, I'm keeping my expectations reasonable. We're expecting new phones, maybe some updates to a few other pieces of hardware, and then news about the stuff that they've already told us is coming in December.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much it. So we'll have more details here in the coming weeks. But that's pretty much it, all that happened with Apple this week.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. I have some gaming. Well, I have a piece of gaming that I want to talk about. Should we do that now?
Should we do the gaming now?
Before we jump into Google?
I have gaming stuff too.
You do. So
I did say it is on my notes last.
All right. So let's move to
let's do gaming last then.
That works for me.
Okay.
All right, bring it on, Landon.
I could actually start with a piece of Google News.
True. I was gonna revert back to Caleb for this.
Oh, okay.
I
Go
have
for
some
it.
Google News. So
Go
this
for it.
past week, Google announced ARCore, which is
That's right.
well, it's ARKit.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
It's the ARCore that works on Android.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And to be fair, like me and Landon were talking about this beforehand, to be fair, a lot of ARCore is probably built off of Google's experiments with Google Glass and Project Tango.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of that background is coming from. Incidentally, that's also where a lot of the background for ARKit comes from, because Google wrote academic papers about all of this stuff while they were experimenting with it, and all of that got published in journals and released to the wild. So I'm sure that the engineers at Apple were reading this stuff, and I'm sure that information informed the development of ARKit. So yes, Apple got to the plate with it first as something that can be released to the masses. Google came a couple of months later. We're going to be seeing ARKit with apps released into the App Store for iOS 11 in like a week and a half, and Google will probably be coming in a couple of months to get the actual finalized apps available. So
Yeah.
Apple will probably go down as history as the ones who made AR available to the masses first. Okay, they
Yep.
beat Google by a couple of months using Google's own papers to do so. So
Pretty much.
this is business.
Just give it to him. Whatever.
But
I'm
yeah.
sure Google got a lot of money, so they're not complaining.
I know. It's basically what it means is that, yeah, they're competing with each other. Yeah, there's going to be some backstabbing happening probably. But on the plus
Suing.
side, all of the iOS users and all of the Android users using Android 7 and 8 are going to be getting AR apps for their devices.
That's pretty
within
cool.
like
so
the
in
next
other words,
year.
we benefit.
Exactly.
The
Pretty
consumer
much
wins.
all of the consumers, except for the Windows.
I don't want
mobile
to talk about it right now because I don't even get a freaking Mixer app. That's so cool coming with these features.
Sorry, Wes.
No, I'm going to bottle that up. I could go the whole podcast.
Oh
complaining.
man, this is the hate is real. Or the
hate is
anger is
real.
real.
Okay, you know what? Why don't you do it for your own freaking platform? Why? You would think it'd be easy, but no, it's not. Apparently, no.
Well, it's funny because they talk about how easy it is to port these apps to Windows.
Are they telling me I have to do it? Because I freaking will if I have to. Hey, Mixer, can I port this and continue, or port this through? I can't even think of the name now.
I can't remember the app.
Anyway, can I use your stupid thing to make it available? Because okay. Or they already got it. They got the Mixer app on the Xbox. Why can't, they don't even have it on the PC? Why?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
Stab. Anyway,
Yep.
back to Google
So
News.
yes, ARCore, it's coming. It's really funny because they're all like, "It's available now," and I'm like,
Technically,
well,
yes.
The API is available to developers now to start developing their apps with, but no apps are available yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They're coming.
yes,
Now
and
that
they
they
will.
opened it
You know,
up.
it's a couple of months to get those apps developed, I'm sure. Just like it has been for all the stuff that I'm sure we're going to see an enormous slew of garbage augmented reality apps on iOS 11 within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll probably see all those same garbage apps showing up on Google within about a month or two. And then good apps will be coming a little bit further down the road.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about earlier. The actual useful apps that will come from this will be at least 6 months out. At least.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're coming.
But they're going to be awesome.
Yes, they'll
And
be
they
cool.
will be useful. And they will change the way you do stuff on your phone.
And if you have
For
an
sure.
iPhone or an Android phone, or a fairly recent iPhone or Android phone, then you'll get to play around with them.
Yes.
And how cool is that?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
It's going to
So-
be cool.
There you go. That's my piece of Google News.
Awesome.
Google's Me Too AR feature.
Yes.
Google's Me Too AR response to Apple's Me Too AR feature. That's there we go.
Pretty much.
Say that 5 times fast. Go.
No.
I give up.
I give up. You win.
Okay, now on to Google News from me. Not a ton of actual Google news, but there has been a bunch of stuff that has come out of IFA 2017, this conference in Berlin that happened this past week. Mostly, it's a lot of Google Assistant news. A lot of companies have now announced speakers that will be coming with Assistant built in. There's not a ton of specs on these. Like they're just basically Bluetooth speakers with Assistant. So I'll just go through the list of them. Some I've never heard of these brands. Some I have. Okay, so we'll start with the Zolo Mojo by Anchor. I know Anchor; they're a good brand. They make good products. So I'm assuming this will probably be a pretty decent device.
With
And
an awesome name.
I was going to say with a
Yeah,
sweet
the
name.
Zolo Mojo.
Can you say Mojo without the Austin Powers accent?
I just did.
You said you didn't. You went Zolo Mojo. Try it without.
Zolo Mojo.
Not a girl.
Moving on.
Okay.
There's the Tick Home Mini by Mobvoi. I don't know that.
Mob boy.
And then the GA10 by Panasonic. The LF-S50G by Sony. Lovely names, by the way. And then JBL has come out recent. I think this was today. The Link 10, the Link 20, and the Link 300. These ones are basically Google Homes because they have the Assistant built in. They also have Chromecast abilities built in, so you can cast music to them.
Oh, nice.
Or use Bluetooth and use Google Assistant. So these are basically Google Homes, but with JBL behind them, which makes
Nice.
them a much better speaker.
Which means good audio.
Yes. And the 10 and 20 and 300, obviously the 10's the cheapest one. I didn't see any prices on these. The 10's the cheapest one, and the lowest quality one, the 300, is going to be the nicest one. It's not, excuse me, it's the only one that's not battery powered. It's one that you actually have to plug in, but it's obviously going to be the biggest and the
Right.
best sound quality that you're going to get.
That's awesome.
Yeah. More with Google Assistant. You can now tell Google Assistant on your phone to take a screenshot. And this is something that's gone in and out of... excuse me. This has gone out, like, starting with Google Now. Google Now on tap. You could do a screenshot, and then they took it away. And then they put it back with another feature, and then they took it away. And now it's back on Google Assistant with voice. You can also just type in, take a screenshot. I don't know why you do that instead of just, pushing the power and volume down button. It'd be much quicker. But if you don't have access to do that with your phone, you can just say the hot word and say, take a screenshot. And then it automatically pops up and gives you options to share that screenshot or save it or different things like that. And I tried this out earlier, and it does work, and it works well, right? And it's pretty quick too, so that's kind of handy.
That's awesome.
So, like, one application I could see, like I said, if you are doing something and you can't use your phone with your hands at the moment for some reason, and you want to take a screenshot at that time for some reason, you can. Or I just thought of this: if you're in the middle of a game, maybe it would work.
Yes.
I haven't tried that. But if you want to take a screenshot in a game, you can't, say, go back 10 seconds to take a screenshot like you can in a game.
Yeah.
Like, well, at least console gaming. But
when you hit the game, if you do the same buttons to do it, does that take a screenshot or the buttons?
it still works.
Try to think.
But this would make it so you don't have to stop playing the game and you can take a screenshot.
That's true. Maybe that's what it's for.
I would imagine it would work. I haven't tried it, but
Yeah.
I don't know why it wouldn't. You can access Google Assistant from anywhere on your phone. So, okay. The next one is LG announced that all of their smart appliances will be getting Assistant and Alexa support later this year.
Which then could turn into Cortana.
Kinda. The way it would work is if, through your phone with either Assistant or Alexa, or through a Google Home or an Echo or an Echo Dot, you tell that device to do something with your smart appliance. So if you, say you have an oven that's LG smart appliance, you could say, okay, whatever device you want to talk to, preheat my oven to 425. And it would work. Which is kind of cool.
That is.
That's the main functionality I could see that would be useful.
Yeah.
Because I don't see why you would want to do this with a smart washing machine or a smart dryer. Because you can't say, hey, switch my clothes to the dryer and turn it on.
Yet.
If maybe if they have a washing machine, washer, dryer combo that's all in one, you could just say,
if it's stackable,
start drying my
drops
clothes.
into it.
Actually, all-in-one washer and dryer, that is a thing that exists.
Yeah, but do they have smart ones?
I don't know. I'd be surprised if they didn't.
That's true. They have smart everything nowadays.
I'd be amazed if they didn't.
I think we need the big discussion about how we're going to mix Cortana and Alexa together. Meaning, are we going to call it Calexa or Altana? Altana?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think we got to come up with something good. So
you work on that.
I
I'm
will
gonna go on.
I will. But I think this is a big discussion. We need to take time on the podcast to discuss. And
Maybe next week we'll take a time out of the Apple Podcast.
Oh, yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Because I can guarantey that's going to happen.
Nope, not going to happen.
Yeah. All right,
maybe
hold
next
on.
summer
No.
when we're have nothing to talk about again.
There you go. Yeah, next July. We'll pencil you in.
We'll come back to this in July of next year.
Cortexa. No. Cortex. That's awesome. What is that? It's a bad guy out of a Crash Bandicoot. That's right. Sorry. Went on down the tangent there. Gaming hit. Okay. I'm going to think about this. Okay, go ahead.
You can think about this. I'll go on.
I'm such a good host.
Oh, man. Another big one. Well, this isn't big for a lot of people yet, but it's getting bigger for people. Okay. YouTube TV. It's been announced for a while. It's been out for a while. It's now available in more markets again. The reason I'm bringing this up is because it's now available in our market.
Hey!
Oh, nice.
In the Salt Lake City area, which, we're not super close to Salt Lake City, but I tried it out, and it does count for where we are.
Cool.
And it's also I saw Denver, Indianapolis, and they had 12 new markets. I can't remember all of them, but those are some of the bigger ones.
All right, so what does this mean for people that don't know what it is?
So I did put the specs down because I wanted to remind people of what YouTube TV is and what it does. It's basically a live TV streaming service, kind of like Sling TV, or I don't know what the other
Sling's
big ones.
the main
Sling's
one.
the main
big
biggest one.
Yeah.
This one it's $35 a month, and it's no contracts, just per month. You can get out of it or get back in whenever you want. It's got 40 plus channels, including ESPN, FS1, NBC Sports Network, and pretty much all your sports channels. A lot of Disney channels, including the main Disney, Disney Junior, Disney XD, all of your local channels. That's why it's not just a wide rollout yet, because they got to work with these markets to get the local channels involved. And you can also have up to 6 separate accounts under one price, and they each get their own personal DVR library, which is unlimited DVR.
Oh, that's nice.
That you can stream from your phone or through, I think the only Android TV device that has it is the Shield TV.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
But you can, like I said, you can do it on your phone, so you could do it through Chromecast
Oh,
or
there you
on
go.
your phone, or just on your phone by
Yeah.
itself, and it works on Android and iOS.
And that's kind of the big selling point for this over all of the other ones is unlimited DVR.
Unlimited
'Cause
DVR, and
nobody else has that.
and mobile streaming anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, and something I did find out actually that was really a bonus for me, actually switching from, I had to switch from Comcast to like DirecTV, but something like this is that DirecTV now does is you don't have to pay for HD or all the multiple boxes.
Right.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's another bonus is you don't have to pay for, like, you can have up to 6 accounts. So technically is that devices, or you can have
Accounts.
Well, so with accounts, I assume that means you can probably be streaming to 6 different devices all at the same time.
Yeah.
Is that okay? That's what I
I
getting at.
assume.
Yeah.
So
That's
basically,
pretty cool.
if you want to equate it to satellite or cable that people are familiar with, that's like having 6 DVRs in your house, except not in your house, anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's like having 6 DVRs in your pocket.
Which is
Okay,
cool.
1 DVR in your pocket, but like 6
Six other
people,
people, yeah.
6 pockets. Having 6 phones in your pocket would be weird. Just wanted to make sure
That's
that
an
was
interesting
clear.
analogy.
Anywho,
No, but it is cool. It's cool. If you're a cord cutter, there you go. If you have the internet service for this.
That's the downside, is because it's all streaming.
Yeah.
So if you have a data cap on your internet, which most companies do
yeah,
now,
most everyone does.
it may be not super feasible to use.
You want to monitor your usage for sure.
Yeah.
Like for at least the first couple of months that you've got it. Like you can try it out, monitor, just keep a real close eye on it. Don't go over. Overages for data caps on home internet
Ridiculous.
are just the pits. So,
Yeah.
Definitely.
There are
definitely.
the few plans out there that have unlimited still, but generally
Yeah.
you're paying out
They're-
the butt for those.
yeah, they're
Well,
very few.
just talk to your provider, and sometimes you can pay an extra fee just to have unlimited too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
that's most.
that's now available in more markets. I can't remember how many it's up to now. It's easily probably over 40, but I'm not 100% on that.
That's cool. But I bet it's going to be pretty slow just because of those data caps. I mean, until they can somehow work with, unless you got, I'm assuming Google fiber optic or something, that's probably free.
They don't have data caps.
I was going to say,
No.
they're all for it. Yeah, stream YouTube, go for it. But
Yeah.
that's what I was saying, like, I think Comcast, most cable companies are about a terabyte. And then you got to pay extra for more. But yeah, I would definitely double check. I don't know what CenturyLink or anyone like that, a DSL would be.
A lot of the phone companies, the DSL companies, at least the ones that I've looked at, they're a fairly standard, like 300 to 400 gigs a month.
Gotcha.
Or something, depending on the plan that you've got. And it seems like most of the wireless providers and most of the satellite the wireless providers, very similar to that. Satellite providers, you pay, like, that's your plan. Your plan isn't for speed. Your plan is for how much data you can actually use via the satellite uplink a month. And depending on how much you're paying, you could have a data cap as low as 50 gigs, which, holy cow, that is not a lot of data.
I would not
You
do
are
that.
you are not watching much Netflix
Yeah,
over that.
You would not watch anything.
You are not doing anything.
That's for checking email, basically.
Isn't that crazy, though?
Yeah,
Only 50 gigs.
if you're in a really super rural area, that's really your only option a lot of times. And, geez.
At that point, just use your phone.
Yeah, like seriously, just get an unlimited plan from T-Mobile or something like that and use that. Sure, your video quality is going to be limited based on what device you're watching on, but
even that, like my in-laws, we share a plan with them. We have a 30 gig shared plan. We never go over it. They don't have Wi-Fi. They use a hotspot on their phone.
Yeah.
We never go over it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
At least we've gotten close once.
Landen was streaming a lot. And
honestly, I don't use the most, but I'm the second.
Was that the time when I asked you to turn your Wi-Fi on so I could download something through your Wi-Fi and not use mine?
That did happen a lot. Thanks, Wes.
I did that. I was like, hey, can I borrow your Wi-Fi? I can't use my data.
Yeah. It's because you had, what, 250 megabytes?
Well, it was like the 3 gig thing.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Something very small. Anyways, that's all the Google news. Now on to Android news. At IFA, there was a lot of phones announced. I'm not going to go through all of them because most of them are cheap phones that no one cares about.
Plastic with a screen.
No, they're not horrible. They're just like sub 200 phones that you're not going to see in most of your major carriers.
Except Boost Mobile.
They'll have one of them in every major carrier, and if that is your carrier, that's the phone you're getting if you want to spend less than $200. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. But the ones I did want to talk about, there's a couple new Sony phones, and then the big one, the LG V30, and then a new Motorola phone. But we'll talk about the Sony ones first. Sony continues to,
have the best phone names ever.
Names. So they went from the Xperia Z, which was their flagship. Then they went to the X, and now this one is the XZ1. And the XZ1 Compact. So, and something that Sony has done for multiple years is have their premium one and then the compact version, which is basically the same thing that Apple's done, where the specs are identical, it's just a smaller phone, basically. And so the specs on the XZ1, it's coming with Android 8.0 Oreo out of the box. So
nice. Good
on them, because none of the other ones that were announced are. Which is a shame. It's got a 5.2-inch full HD HDR screen.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's that the Note 8, I believe, has that as well. Has HDR capabilities. It's got Snapdragon 835, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage with an SD card reader. It's got 2 cameras on the back. It's got a 19 megapixel main camera with 960 frames per second slow motion, which is Sony's big thing.
Yes.
Which, on these phones, on their previous one had the same option, was pretty awesome. I'm assuming this one will be even better because it's a year newer and just a year better lens and all that crap.
Just awesome. All the slow-mo. Like, just all of it.
All the slow-mo.
Yeah. I really want to get a camera with that capability.
Just try it out.
Just to try
it's like,
it.
how slow is this really?
I mean, the 120 frames per second I can do on my phone is pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic.
960? That's ridiculous. That's like to the point of just buying a standalone slow-mo camera.
Yep.
On a phone.
Yep.
That's amazing. How amazing.
Good on you, Sony.
You'll see stuff like the slow-mo guys on YouTube who literally all they do is just record stuff in slow motion. That's the entire dang channel.
Which is still entertaining.
It is really entertaining.
Very entertaining.
But like they started off and like they made a huge deal about being like the only option available, and this was just a couple of years ago, of, like we're recording all of our stuff with 1,000 frames per second slow motion cameras. And like those were thousands of dollars back then.
Yeah.
And now you can buy one in a Sony camera. or in a Sony smartphone. Weird.
Yeah. Weird.
Gotta love technology.
I have no idea what the file size on these things is like.
Oh, jeez.
No kidding.
Don't even want to think about that.
Do they come with SD cards? They might have to.
Well, we'll get to that because SanDisk announced a new SD card. That's ridiculous.
Ooh.
But the other camera on the back is a 13 megapixel. I don't think it has anything special. It's just a 13 megapixel. Might be a wide angle or something. I didn't see any details on that.
Yeah.
It's got a 2,700 milliamp hour battery, which,
It's a little small.
which I find odd. I wonder if this is a misprint because the compact one also has a 2,700 milliamp hour battery,
That's weird.
which is weird.
That does seem like a misprint.
So I'm hoping that it's a minimum of 3,000, and they just accidentally just copied and pasted.
I mean, because having your big phone with less than 3,000 milliamp hours is kind of like,
Yeah,
that's not gonna work great.
yeah. I don't know. It's also IP68 rated for waterproof and dust resistance.
Nice.
And that's both of the phones. And the only difference in the compact is it's got a smaller screen. It doesn't have HDR. It's a 4.6-inch screen, and the base is 32 gigs for storage. I think that might be the only option for storage on that phone, which isn't much, but with an SD card reader is fine.
Yeah. As long as you can record all your slow motion videos onto your SD card, then.
Well, that one doesn't have that camera.
Oh.
Well, no, actually, yes, it does. It does have the same cameras.
There.
It does have those same cameras.
There you go.
I didn't see prices on these phones yet, but it's Sony, so they're going to be more than what they're worth.
But if you're thinking of buying a slow motion camera, that might be worth it to get this phone. Just because
I would wait 6 months to when they're cheaper.
That's true. Yeah, wait for them to go on sale,
But
and then grab it. And then you're going to be paying because how much does it cost to get just a standalone camcorder that's capable of shooting 960 frames per second?
I don't know.
I
Probably
haven't actually
still
looked into that, but I assume it's probably
so.
close to $600, $700, $800, at least.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, the benefit to Sony phones also, it's got the good build quality, which they've had for at least 4 or 5 years. And they have a really light skin on top of Android. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. And they update regularly and quickly. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Well, actually, we'll get to that now. They announced a bunch of phones. I'm done with the XZ1 and XZ1 Compact. But they've announced a bunch of phones that are going to be getting Android 8.0. And this is where you'll learn the naming is awful on their phones. So, we'll just go down the list. The Xperia X, the X Performance, the X Compact, the XZ, the XZ Premium, the XZS, the XA1, the XA1 Ultra, the Touch, and the XA1 Plus.
They have a phone called the Touch.
The Xperia Touch.
The Xperia Touch.
Wow.
As if all smartphones are not touch. That's just weird.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I guess I probably should stop complaining about how confusing Apple's naming schemes can be because Sony has got them beat.
Oh, Sony and
by
Motorola.
far.
Easy.
Oh, yes, Motorola has problems too.
I don't know. The Xbox might have them all beat.
There's only 3 of those, though, so...
Well, Xbox.
Well, okay.
Xbox 360. Xbox One.
Then One X.
Xbox One S.
Another One X.
Well, just...
It's...
Still...
Okay, fair enough. That's starting to get a little confusing as well. Still, though, the iPad, iPad 2, iPad Air, iPad Air 2, iPad Pro, iPad Pro.
Well,
iPad
there was
Pro.
one that was the new iPad. That's how they
true.
announced it, as the new
Yes,
iPad.
that was the 3, I believe.
And then they had just the iPad, which was the new one, but not the new one.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened. I was like, are you kidding me?
Bad.
This
And then
is
they
awful.
went to the iPad Air, and then the iPad Air 2, and then the iPad Mini, and the iPad Mini 2, and the iPad Mini 3, and the iPad Mini 4, and everyone's like, oh, it's going to be so consistent. And then the iPad Pro, and now we're back to the iPad again with the iPad Pro in 2 different screen sizes. And I'm like, Apple, just what the heck? What is going on with your iPads? Anyways, sorry. Distracted.
We
Names.
love our platforms.
Yay, names.
Yeah. So like I said, Sony does a really good job of updating their phones and keeping them on the latest version of Android because, I mean, that's a pretty good list of phones.
It is, yeah.
And they're not all flagship. Most of them are actually not flagship phones. So that's pretty awesome.
So go Sony.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
there's a lot
kinda
of
weird,
benefits
but yeah.
to Sony. And it's unfortunate that they're not super popular. Mostly because they're usually really expensive when they come out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to bet that the XZ1 is going to be $800. I would not be surprised. Which, I mean, for the specs isn't horrible, but it should be closer to like $650, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Anyways, moving on. Motorola, more naming fun.
Yeah.
They finally came out with a Moto X4, new Moto X phone, which is, I don't know. The Moto X line is, when it first came out, it's what I recommended. It's when like Google owned Motorola and they had the Moto X and they had the customizable phone. Like you could get a wood back if you wanted. You could customize the colors on it. You could have it turn on already logged into your account and with whatever background you wanted. Like all these different cool features on the Moto X phones. And then they just slowly went away from that. And it's been a couple years since they had a Moto X. They moved to the Moto Z. Interestingly enough, at the same time that Xperia went from the Z to the X, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, wait a second. So are we getting a Moto XZ?
No,
soon?
not yet. Probably. So, yeah, I don't know. The Moto X line now, it's not their flagship like it kind of was back then. It's near the same price point as it was back then. But back then, they kind of made it like, this is a really good phone for a relatively good price. Now it's a good high-end mid-range phone for the same price as what you would expect to pay for that type of phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. I have a hard time recommending them now, but they're there.
Yeah.
The details on this phone, first of all, it's not coming to the U.S. at launch, which is weird.
That is odd.
It's going to be in Europe first
Euros.
for 399 euros. That's where I was going with that.
There you go.
So, I mean, the price is going to be, convert that to U.S. dollars. I have no idea. I can't do math in my head like that. But
$6 to $650, I want to say.
anyways, somewhere in that price range. The interesting thing with this phone is it'll have Alexa and Google Assistant built in.
Wait, no, $550. I can math. Round $550.
He went to
okay.
college.
Okay,
my
in the
guess.
beginning I talked that we tech the talk, so
It's true.
we're good podcasters.
But, yeah, it's going to have Alexa and Google Assistant built in, so that's kind of interesting.
/ Cortana. Sorry.
If you download the
I
app,
guess
it will,
so.
yeah. You could have all these devices on one,
That's their plan. That's how they get Cortana on everybody's device. Smart move.
except for their own.
It's built on there. Trust me.
Yeah. This, it comes with 7.1 out of the box, Android 7.1, which, again, is kind of sad because they easily could have put 8.0 on there.
Yeah.
It does have... oh, wait. Nope. I'm getting ahead of myself. It's got a Snapdragon 630, so that's going to be kind of beneficial just because the battery life on those chips is really good. It's got a 5.2-inch display, 3,000 milliamp hour battery. It's got dual cameras, which is nice. One of them is a 12-megapixel standard lens. The other one is an 8-megapixel wide angle, which is my preferred dual camera setup. And then the front megapixel is 16, which is bigger than the other two, which is
That's
weird.
kind of random.
So, selfies.
Yeah. This is the selfie phone.
Yeah. It has...
That would have been better name than name.
There already is a selfie phone, so they couldn't use that. I can't remember who made it, but there is one.
The better
Seriously?
selfie phone?
Yes, there is already a
Man.
selfie phone.
Well,
Came out like last year or the year before.
yikes.
Probably some T-Mobile thing.
Oh,
I think
That
it was
wouldn't surprise me.
It might have been a China only. I don't know.
that wouldn't surprise me either.
It's
That
okay, we had
wouldn't
a
surprise me.
KFC phone, so
It's true. It's true.
Not
Anything is
surprised.
possible.
Yeah. This one is IP68 rated for
Yay.
water resistance and
Just
dust
like
resistance.
all the rest of them.
Pretty much.
Like every flagship, seriously.
If it doesn't have that, then you shouldn't be making a phone.
yeah.
Guess
if it's your
not.
flagship.
Right, yes.
It's got 32 gigs and an SD card slot, and it has a fingerprint sensor on it. So it's got a lot of flagship features. The main one that's not a flagship feature is really the Snapdragon 630 processor.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's not horrible.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time recommending any Motorola phone nowadays because ever since Lenovo bought them, it's just gone downhill.
Unless you want to turn it sideways and play games on it with their Moto Mod thing that you can buy.
Yeah,
Because that's an option.
true.
If you don't want to spend the extra money on a PlayStation, PS Vita, or whatever that thing is.
I mean,
you can buy one of these
the
instead.
mod system is pretty cool, but that's the only thing I would say. If you really needed that stuff, then buy a Motorola phone. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe don't.
I just buy a Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or a secondhand PlayStation Vita, like for less money than it costs to buy the Moto mod. Just because that's an option.
Logic.
Probably
Pretty
come with
much.
like 30 games too, because everyone's just trying to get rid of those things.
Yeah.
Please take it.
I don't want it.
Yep. Now on to the big phone that came out of this conference.
Is
the
that
LG
big phone
V30.
size or
It's 7 inches for the screen, and
There is a phone like that. Came out about 3 years ago.
there was. Yes.
Sorry, I talked
It
over
was
you. What did you
advertised
say it
very
was?
heavily.
The LG V30.
V30. Okay.
And the unfortunate part about this is if you compare it to the V20 last year, it was technically the first phone that came out with Android 7.0 out of the box.
Gotcha.
Only technically by like 2 days. But it did. This one is not coming out with 8.0, which is really unfortunate.
Swing and a
missed
miss.
the
Yeah.
boat there.
It'll be up. It's funny. The quote that is there for updating it is, "We should be able to update it by the end of the year, maybe."
That's the quote.
Should
Yep.
maybe.
Okay.
Like it.
Yes, should be able to maybe.
Yeah. So, other than that, fantastic phone. It's got a 6-inch plastic OLED display, Quad HD, 18:9 aspect ratio, and HDR. Like I said, 7.1.2 out of the box, Snapdragon 835, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, 3,300 milliamp hour battery, same size as the Note 8, which I thought was odd. The Note couldn't have a bigger one. It's got
Well, they had.
they
bad
don't want it to catch on
memories.
fire. I get it. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
It has a dual camera setup, which, makes sense. It's got a 16 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization, and then 13 megapixel 120 degree wide angle lens, and a 5 megapixel front. And from what I've heard so far, these cameras are fantastic. A lot of people are just expecting them to be the same as the G6 cameras,
Yeah.
which were pretty good, not great. But these ones, everything I've heard so far is they are way better and really good.
Sweet.
So that's awesome. It's also IP68 rated, and it has a headphone jack. And the main reason they are talking about this a lot is not just because it has a headphone jack. It's the same thing with like the V20 and the V10. They were made specifically to have good audio and video quality. And like if you remember, the V20 commercials were all recorded on V20 phones. And they were pretty good quality video.
Yeah.
And this is going to have the same thing, but audio-wise, it's going to have a quad DAC like it did on the V20, an updated, better version, and it's going to have B&O Play branded speakers on the phone, which is pretty awesome.
Forward facing.
I don't think they're on this traditional forward facing, but
Right.
kind of probably similar to what the iPhone is.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But either way, really good audio quality just from the phone, and then when you plug headphones into it, also really good audio quality, depending on your headphones.
Yes.
If you put cheap
Yeah.
headphones into this, they'll sound good.
Doesn't matter
but
how nice your DAC is.
Yeah.
If you put crappy headphones in, your drivers have to be nice too.
Yes.
This
So, I
is
mean,
important.
if you're an audiophile, this is the phone to get. I mean, there's no other way around it.
That's awesome.
Though if you're really an audiophile, then you don't actually listen to music unless it's at home on your actual tube-powered amp
Yeah.
via your vinyl collection. And yeah, anyways,
Yes. Pretty much.
with your 1/4-inch headphone jack and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you listen to music.
But if you do want to listen to music on the go, this is probably the phone to use.
This is the one that will offend you the least.
Yes. Yes. The thing that excites me the most about this phone is it's basically a preview for the Pixel XL2.
There you go.
Minus probably the audio stuff. And that excites me. Not that I'll be buying that phone, unfortunately, but still.
You may go to a store and mess with it.
Oh, I guaranteed will. I know people that'll probably be buying it, and I will be playing with it.
Call them over for dinner. Hey, let me see your phone.
Hey, can I play with your phone?
And then just
I have
like
pizza.
sit them at the table, like, you eat. I will be with your phone.
You know, it wouldn't be the first time,
Yeah.
which is kind of sad, but not really. I don't care. I have no shame. I'm a phone nerd.
Yeah. You have a
I'll admit
device?
it.
Come on over.
Yes. I'm not creepy at all.
Yeah. With that voice.
Anyways, moving on. Now just some general tech news. And this is where the most of the stuff's going to come from. But there's some cool stuff. Let's see. Wearable devices. Garmin announced some new ones. They have the Vivo Active 3, which is basically their smartwatch version of their devices. There's not a lot of really game-changing details on this. The big thing is it now has, get this, Garmin Pay.
Oh, my God.
Using NFC. I find it odd. It's like, why make your own thing when you could use
One of the ones that
one of the
exists
ones
already.
that works and already has the support for pretty much every bank in existence?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why. It's because, Apple gets like a 10% or 5% or 3% cut of every transaction that happens with Apple Pay. And
Yeah.
Garmin looks at that and goes, ooh, we want that. And
That
there
sounds
you go.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
And-
why.
And it's the same thing with Fitbit on
Yep.
Fitbit Pay and
Yeah.
all that crap. And the other thing is they're not using Android Wear to run these devices.
Right.
So I kind of get it, but it's just like, ugh, really? Ugh. That one starts at $229 and goes up to $299 on the price. Also, it has up to 7 days of battery in smartwatch mode. And if you're in GPS, like full-on GPS mode, all the time it'll do up to 13 hours. So
Wow.
the GPS will kill your battery. But if you're not using it all the time, which you don't need to all the time because
Yeah.
it's connected to your phone, which has a GPS, unless you're running without your phone, you don't need to have GPS
I
mode
doubt
on.
you're running for
Right.
13 hours.
No.
If you are, you're doing a marathon. Even then, those
It's-
people
Unless
do
it's-
it
say,
in less time.
You're doing a marathon and you're doing it poorly.
Poorly.
13
So if
hours.
I'm running a marathon without my phone,
This will help the emergency
And-
technicians find you after you pass out on the route and about die.
And running
Yes.
with quotations.
yes,
Running.
also known as I'll be driving my car. Because I'm that lazy.
Speed
I don't
walking.
run. I don't do that either.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious if you see me. Another device they announced was an updated Vivo Sport for $299. This is just a slightly dumber version of the Vivo Active. It's not a full-on smartwatch. It's just a smarter fitness band.
Ah,
And then the Vivo Move HR, this is interesting. It's a hybrid smartwatch. So what that means is it's a watch with smart features. It's like a actual watch with just at the bottom of it shows little things here and there.
Right. Like all of the Swiss watchmakers that wanted to say they were making a smartwatch.
Yes,
Got it.
exactly.
wow.
And it starts at $199 up to $299 depending on the material, the size, the band, and all that crap.
How smart you want it. Pretty much.
No, the smarts are the same.
Oh.
It's just the other options.
Gold or silver.
Just whether it's got gold on it, whether it has like a
Do you want the
face that's
Vivo
made out of
Move
walnut.
HR Edition?
Yeah, there you go.
Or the Sport? No.
Limited release. Yep. Could it have a Project Scorpio on it?
With little rubber bumps.
You know those would sell.
So, yeah,
A lot.
You'd probably buy one, huh?
I'd think about it. I would. I'd think about it.
Yeah. And something we talked about a couple weeks ago that finally came out is Samsung announced that their Gear Sport, the Gear Fit 2
Yes.
Pro, and I didn't get a price on the Gear Sport. I couldn't find it anywhere. The Gear Fit 2 Pro will be $200, and it's available on September 15th. And if you want more details, you can either go back and listen to our previous podcast about that or look it up because everything I read about the announcement didn't have any more details. So
Yeah.
there you go. let's see. Harman Kardon has a speaker company. If you know anything about good audio, you know them.
Yes.
They came out with the Allure, which is basically an Alexa device.
/ Cortana.
No, well, kind of. It's got Alexa
Coming
built in. It's coming this winter, they say, for $250. So if you want an Amazon Echo, but with really good sound quality for only $100 more,
There you go.
I mean, for only $100 more, why not?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to be listening to music or anything over this device, you want a better speaker than what the Echo has to offer, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it would be really nice.
Yeah, because, I mean, Harman Kardon makes high-quality speakers. I mean, generally you compare them with, like, the high-end Sonos devices and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, for $250, you get smart features and good audio quality. There you go.
Yep.
Good option. Now, coming back to that micro SD card that I was talking about, SanDisk announced they have a 400 gig one.
Nice.
400 gigs.
It's getting to the point where you can use these things as the boot drive for your laptops and stuff. Just like boot off the SD card.
Now, I would not say use this on a phone, because why would you ever need that much space on a phone now? Maybe in a couple of years.
Well, when you're taking a lot of those Sony
slow motion
videos.
If you're doing a lot of like 4K video or slow-mo video like that, and you don't have a cloud-based storage option, then I can see it. And you're not just backing it up onto your computer like a normal person.
Like every half hour.
Yeah, well, it would take you a long time to fill,
true,
even
it
like
would.
a standard
Yeah.
phone storage in 4K video. But anyways, if you're not doing that, then yeah, go for it, I guess, whatever. My initial thought on use case for this would be like a Switch.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the games.
Because
that would be perfect.
you could put most, if not all of your games on this SD card.
Yeah. Or if you've got a MacBook Air, has 128 gig hard drive in it, and you need more storage space for your pictures and videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Slap one of these in there.
Yeah,
Does it have an SD slot?
It does.
Oh,
the
nice.
Air does. That's the only one currently on sale that does.
That would actually be very nice for the Switch, because I know with, say, the Xbox, if I've got a 500 gig Xbox and I put like maybe 8 games that's not Gears of War 4 and not Halo, the Master Chief Collection, it's full. So, yeah, and to where they're trying to release a lot of stuff on there. How much is Overwatch? Because I heard Overwatch might be coming to Switch.
It's not terrible. Boy,
Probably
I
average
don't know.
game.
I haven't actually. The last thing that I downloaded was the public test region, and I'm not sure if that actually shares some of the game assets with the actual game installation. That was about 20 gigs, I want to say. Like 16 to 20, somewhere in there.
But that would still be perfect for a Switch, definitely. I would, if it allows it to go up to that.
That's the question. I mean, most phones, for some odd reason, say they allow up to 2 terabytes because, that's a thing.
It's
not really.
It's just the file system built into the phone that can support that. So,
So I could imagine the Switch could support this, but who knows? It's Nintendo. They do stupid things.
Yeah, they do, but sometimes they work.
It's true.
Like only release maybe 100 classic SNES.
Hopefully they sourced their actual part from someone else and didn't build it themselves, which, knowing Nintendo, no guarantee that they did that. They may have built their own SD card slot for this thing. But in that case, it's probably just a hardware or a software limitation, which, hopefully they just put a file system on the thing that will support storage of more than, a couple hundred gigs. You'd hope.
Let's hope.
You'd hope.
Seriously.
Since, like you said, pretty much every smartphone in existence has that.
Mm-hmm.
You'd hope.
We'll just leave it at hope.
Yeah, the price on this, $250.
I will not be testing this anytime soon.
I
know I
get
have
it.
a Switch.
I get it because it's a lot of gigs on a very small device.
Small thing. Oh,
so I get the price. It's just, you're basically buying another Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For more storage.
And what if that crapped out on you?
Ooh.
I would say buy a warranty.
Yeah.
I'm sure it comes with a 1-year manufacturer's warranty, which means it will break after a year.
It'll break
The day
in
after.
370 days.
The exact day after. To the minute.
Pretty much. Let's see. The next thing I want to talk about is Nest announced the Thermostat E.
Yeah.
And what this is basically a cheaper plastic version of their other one. Actually, I like this one better.
Ooh.
Because it is cheaper. It's $169 rather than $250.
Hey. Oh, that's not bad at all.
For a thermostat, yeah, it's still kind of pricey, but for what it does...
Yeah, for all the smart features that are built into those things.
It's got all the same features, minus it doesn't show as much on the screen, because the screen, it's got like a white frosted plastic glass thing on in front of it. So
right.
the LED kind of shows through a little bit, but just enough to show what's necessary. So it doesn't show you... Let's see, I got this written down. It doesn't have... the upcoming forecast or the time or a full temperature panel, like a full temperature meter around the whole device. It just shows where your gauge is at currently and the temperature that's there.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I heard that it doesn't do is when you walk into a room, it doesn't automatically turn on and show you the time, which I don't know why you would look at your thermostat anyways for that stuff. So, not necessary.
Yeah.
And for that much cheaper...
Yeah,
it's
a good option.
And there's a lot of areas that if you buy something like this that makes your home more energy efficient, you get rebates on. So some places you could get this for almost free.
Yeah.
With those rebates. So something to look into. Like I said, the downside to it is it doesn't have the fancy metal body and the nice screen.
And you're not going to be able to mount the thing in the center of a piece of wood that has HAL 9000 written on it and have it look like the HAL 9000 because it won't glow red like
he hasn't thought about this.
Have you not? Oh, that's like the best installation of a Nest thermostat I've ever seen. The guy basically just took his Nest, set it to like when you turn it on to heat, it turns red, like when the heater is on and that kind of thing.
Awesome.
And then you just put a board behind it that was painted and just looked like the HAL 9000 board with the little red eye on it from 2001. And it was pretty legit. So you won't be able to do that with this one. So you pay $100 for that privilege, basically.
Pretty much. And more to do all the other crap.
That's so cool.
But, if you wanted a smart thermostat, but you didn't want something that looked like a tech device mounted on your wall, this looks more like a thermostat, and it's cheaper, and you still get all the benefits.
Yep.
So
sweet.
Yes. Still works with everything a regular Nest thermostat does. Still has the same app and all that crap. So, again, all the same features, basically, just not quite as fancy.
Gotcha.
And then the last thing of general tech news that I have is pretty cool. I want to buy all of these things. Sphero came out. They announced new Star Wars droids that you can buy. Like they had the BB-8 one that wouldn't the
Force Awakens.
Yes. Wow, I'm an idiot. The Force Awakens came out.
Wow.
They came out with this. They now have R2-D2 and the BB-9E, which is basically the dark side version of BB-9 or BB-8.
Yep. I saw that thing and I was all like, so somebody on the props department for the new Star Wars movie was like, let's just paint one of these. Basically.
It's got a different head on it.
It does.
But that's the only difference in the paint job. Some of the features on these, the R2-D2, it can do both the bipod and tripod stances, and it can waddle back and forth.
And the sound.
It has all the same sounds.
Oh, yes.
It's got the front and rear LED lights do all the same things as they do in the movies.
But it cannot serve you drinks.
No, it can't do that.
Does it have a taser?
I don't think it has the little thumbs up lighter thing that it did in the Force
probably
Awakens.
Doesn't have a taser. I would just drain the battery too fast.
That would be fun if you had pets.
Right?
This will be fun anyways with pets, but if you could tase them at the same time.
I would totally get it.
Or
a brother.
Children.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't say that. The other cool thing is all three of these things can interact with each other, which is kind of fun.
That is cool.
And the things on the BB9E, like we said, it's basically a BB-8 with a different head and an LED red eye instead of a protruding eye like the BB-8 does. Yeah. And it's going to be basically the exact same thing as what the BB-9E in the movie is going to be in The Last Jedi. So that's cool. The R2-D2 is going to be $179, and the BB-9E is $149.
Which is the same price as the BB-8 was.
And the main difference is the R2-D2 is bigger, and it's probably going to be the more wanted one because it's R2-D2.
Yeah, it's R2, so...
And the people who will be buying these things, like I think, is anyone who bought the BB-8 one, I think kind of has to buy one of these because they interact with each other. Yeah. Like they you get them both connected to the same app and they talk, and it's like, that's cool. Like,
it is
cool. Is that?
You need to go look up YouTube videos for this because it's awesome.
Yeah, like anybody who had bought the BB-8 2 years ago, you have to buy one of these now. So it's a requirement. Yes. This is what you signed up for.
Yes. I really wanted one of the BB-8s when they first came out. Now if the unfortunate part is I still want one and I want these, so I have to buy all three. Yeah.
Seriously.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
But I have to. I'm going to eventually. One day, it's going to happen.
That's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
I got it. Each one of us has to buy one.
There we go.
That's what it is.
I'll get the BB-9E.
I get R2.
Oh, dang it.
Yes.
I'd so much rather have R2 than BB-8.
I know.
That was like maybe my biggest disappointment of the movie, like of The Force Awakens.
Well, he woke up.
He did. It was basically just that, like, BB-8 was cool. BB-8 was awesome. I laughed at BB-8. He was hilarious. Great little droid. But every time R2 was on the screen, I was just like, nah, he's just
R2.
Not R2. I'm sorry. Yeah. R2's the best. So.
Yep. So we might get more out of the next movie.
I like BB-8, but no, R2. R2 wins.
Yep.
Yes. So those are pretty cool. And I think they're available now. I didn't see anything saying they were coming out later.
No, I just kind of assumed they would be available now.
I'm pretty sure they're available now as of last Friday.
Yeah.
Which was the Force Friday or whatever thing they were doing with Disney and all that stuff.
I just assumed that all the Star Wars stuff is starting to be available like when they announce it, because now is just like full hype train for the movie. Like they've kicked it into full gear.
Pretty much. Speaking
we're
of
cruising.
Star Wars stuff, we can now move on to gaming because I have actual gaming news.
Ooh, let's hear it.
And it is Star Wars related too.
I bet it is.
Oh my gosh, I want this so freaking bad.
Well, why don't you go ahead and tell the audience?
Okay, what it is, Lenovo and Disney teamed up to announce what is called Star Wars Jedi Challenges.
Yep.
And what it is, it's an AR game that lets you fight characters like Darth Vader or Kylo Ren in a lightsaber battle.
I want.
This
is a moment of shut up and take my money.
Pretty much. And we'll just get to that now. It's only $200.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No.
I was thinking like $350 or $400 for what it does.
Yeah.
$200 is not horrible at all. It's really tempting.
It would be awesome.
Yeah. So, more details about this. It uses Lenovo's Mirage AR headset, and this was something announced with this.
Yep.
It's the first thing that takes advantage of it. And the benefit is it can be used eventually with other games. Because the way it works is you have your phone and you slide it into a little slot on the headset, kind of, and then it uses mirrors to project what's on your phone's screen in front of you. So it's an augmented reality thing. So you still see things around you, but it shows stuff in front of you on a screen.
So cool.
Yeah. And like I said, this one, the kit comes with the headset and a lightsaber handle and a movement tracking beacon that you put somewhere in the room. And then the headset has 2 cameras on it, and they work together with the beacon to know where you are and different things like that. Gameplay, I've seen very limited videos on it. Engadget.com had a hands-on thing with it, and they've got a lot more in-depth stuff, and it's pretty cool. That's where I got most of my information. So if you want to know more than what we have, go check it out, because they've got a couple videos, a lot of pictures, and just a lot more information. But the game, this is a quote from Mike Goslin. He's the VP of Advanced Development at Disney. He said, "In our story, you're training to be a Jedi. You come across an artifact, which is the lightsaber handle, that recognizes you have the Force. And then, at that point, you see a map of the universe, and there's all these different planets, and you go to each individual planet and do different tasks, basically. There's 6 different levels on each planet that will unlock the next planet, and so on and so forth.
That's cool.
And each level is basically a duel with someone, and it gets obviously harder and harder as you go on. And it looks so cool. I want this game.
That's awesome.
So bad. And the lightsaber handle has haptic feedback, so when you either strike someone or take a block or something, it'll vibrate like as if it happened.
That's
And
cool.
it's just I want it.
It's basically everything the Wii promised us,
Only
but
way
never
better.
actually was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the ability to like be standing in your living room and kind of living out like an in-game experience of like, I am controlling everything. You know, that's been a dream that we've all had since as far back. Well, okay, actually, the Game Glove and like stuff for the SNES and all that kind of thing. But you know, like we've never actually seen anything that kind of looked like what this looks like.
Yeah.
It's not the Vive. You're not going to be standing in the middle of an open room with a big old thing on your face that makes it so that you can't actually see anything.
Yeah, that's the real benefit here is you can still see things around you, and it puts it into your world.
Yep.
And so, like, you're swinging this lightsaber around. If you hit something, it's your own fault because you can see what you're doing.
Exactly. Exactly. So, like, you know, that's the thing is, like, you don't have to have a 50-foot by 50-foot giant empty room in order to actually do this.
Yeah.
Which is what we've had up to this point.
Yeah.
And so, no, you can play in your living room. Like, play around the coffee table. That's fine.
Yeah.
Try not to break your legs. But if you do, it's your fault.
It's your fault because you can see that.
You can see
You're
the
just not
coffee
paying
table.
attention. One other really, really cool thing is you can play holo chess. So basically, you put the beacon down, and it'll just pop up with a game board and the gameplay of how it would be, and then you play a computer basically, and and also along with like the lightsaber duels and different things, says in the gameplay you eventually get to a point where you command troops and have battles, and it's basically like a miniature version, like an overhead miniature version of these battles.
The holographic table thing from Attack of the Clones and whatnot.
Yeah, and one of the battles they say it's in there is the Battle of Hoth.
Nice.
And I didn't see any video gameplay of this, but the article I read said you basically see a bunch of tiny X-Wings flying around shooting at miniature AT-ATs.
That's awesome.
And that got me excited.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes,
please. Oh, man.
So, I want this game. I want it.
Yeah.
It is available for pre-order now at both BestBuy.com or in-store, I think, and Lenovo.com. And it will be in stores the first week of November. So we have to wait a little while, but it'll be so worth it.
Save your money.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Start saving now. Oh,
Yeah.
man. There will be none of these available for Christmas.
No, I'm
holy
assuming
cow.
it'll be one of those that once they're in store, it'll be gone.
Yeah, like instantaneously.
Yeah.
So maybe pre-order if you want to be for sure have one of these things before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that game, it just looks so cool.
Sounds amazing.
I really, really want it. Really, really bad.
Yep. This is basically what science fiction has been promising me my entire life.
Yeah.
Is this kind of thing. And
Yes.
here it is. Holy cow.
So,
How weird is that?
Yeah. And I am finally done with all my news.
That's amazing.
And like I said, that was gaming, so we can move
Yeah.
on with more gaming.
Let's do some
All
gaming.
right, finish her up.
Okay. I've got my indie game spotlight of the week.
Let's hear it.
It's the only thing that I wanted to talk about. But this week we have Songbringer, which is a sci-fi action RPG with procedurally generated 8-bit worlds.
Huh.
So the review statement that I have seen for this one is that it is basically science fiction procedural Zelda. So just think about the gameplay of Zelda, except
With
it's
a
a
lightsaber.
sci-fi
No.
world. Well, kind of, yeah. So Songbringer is the name of a sword, evidently, and
Of course it is.
it's the Master Sword, if we're honest. But it's a sci-fi world. It's 8-bit graphics and stuff, but not like crappy 8-bit graphics on an NES, like really super awesome 8-bit graphics driven by modern graphic architecture that just looks really cool, even though you can see all the pixels.
So
really
Minecraft.
well, no, way better than that. It's like everything, like, I don't know, the whole 8-bit like pixel graphics craze that we have in indie games right now, like, makes it really easy for the games to run on low quality hardware.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it really easy for the developers to get something, and there is like a whole new wash of people that are really good at creating art with giant pixels.
Yeah.
And it looks gorgeous. So the game looks really good. The levels are procedurally generated, right? So the worlds, every time you sign in, it's a different experience. That's been our in-game worlds for a while, but it sounds like this one is like the procedural generation is a lot better, so that it's going to feel much more like an absolutely unique experience every time you do it. It is available right now on GOG and Steam, for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux on both of those platforms. And then it's also available on Xbox One right now. And what is today the 4th? What's
Yes.
today? Today is the 4th. So tomorrow it will be available on PlayStation 4 as well.
Nice.
So you're going to be able to get it on pretty much any of your platforms except for the Switch. And yeah, it's a classic dungeon crawler. You're going to be going through doing your classic RPG, like 8-bit era RPG stuff.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's, I mean, good for scratching that itch. It's more lighthearted than a lot of the other stuff that is coming out, because like the one that jumps to mind is Hyper Light Drifter, which came out last year and is another one of these like 8-bit pixel art style RPGs, kind of after the vein of Zelda. And that one has a really good story, is really pretty to look at, kind of brutally difficult in the later stages, kind of like turns into Dark Souls in 8-bit form the further on you get. But it's like a really kind of poignant story and very serious game, and there's been a lot of those over the past couple of years. They're really good. I'm not complaining. This one is not one of those. This one is much more lighthearted, has a sense of humor and stuff like that. Seems really interesting. So if you loved Zelda, I'd be looking into this. I believe it is $20 right now. Again, with any of these indie games, if you don't want to pay $20 for one of these, wait like 6 months and it'll be half that price. So,
Yep.
Or just wait until the Steam Christmas sale and get it for half that price. So
Yes.
there you go. That's the indie game spotlight for this week.
Awesome. Well, I didn't have any game news. I've been pretty busy. I'm currently moving, so I didn't really pay attention to a lot of games right now. So
There really wasn't much happening in the gaming world.
I didn't see. So
There is actually, we got a playable demo for a fan remake of Tomb Raider 2, which has been going on for quite some time. They're remaking the entire game in Unreal Engine 4. So basically, think Tomb Raider 2, except with actual good graphics this time.
Bonus.
Yes,
Bonus.
which for like 90% of the people that played Tomb Raider 2 back when Tomb Raider 2 was new, that was kind of the reason you played anyways, was because it's like, oh my gosh, look, it's a woman in a game.
Yeah.
If that's your reasoning, then sure, I guess, whatever. The graphics are better. But no, the game is also, it's a classic. And it was, Tomb Raider 1 was obviously the beginning of the franchise. Tomb Raider 2 was the one that cemented the franchise in a way that we were going to continue to see it for the next several years. And that was the one that was like, this popularized the whole concept of this game. So
That was probably the first one that I heard of.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's going to be just they want to do that one because it was the popular one. It's the one that people remember the most. And so there's a demo that you can go play for this thing right now. Since it's a fan remake, obviously, in Unreal Engine 4. It's more than just one guy doing it, which is reassuring because the other fan remake that I've got my eye on right now is the Knights of the Old Republic remaster, which has 2 dudes working on it. So that's going to take for flipping ever.
Yeah.
This one has like 5 or 6 guys, and they're looking for more people that are willing to help out. So if you are somebody who has some experience with game development or wants to get some experience with game development, and you love Tomb Raider 2 and you would love to put your skills to use bringing us this awesome free remake of the game, then you should be looking it up. If you love Tomb Raider 2 anyways, just go check out this demo, give it a shot, see what you think. That's like honestly, there really was not that much news in the gaming world. That was the one piece of news that caught my eye as being pretty cool. Otherwise, we're waiting on a lot of releases and a lot of new features and stuff that we have been promised are coming in the next couple of months.
Yep. So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So, well, if that's everything, thanks everybody for listening, and you have a good rest of your whatever week, or until next time, because we're going to have a lot of news in the coming up.
Yeah.
Good old Apple.
This week was a lot of Google and stuff. Next week's going to be all Apple.
A lot of Apple.
It's all you, buddy.
All the apples.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone again, and you guys have a good rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
See ya.